Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. It's Saturday, so it's time to get you filled in on all the injury updates leading into tomorrow's game action, know which players are in and out, and how that affects other players on the team. So without further ado, let's get into it. So let's start at the back of the alphabet and work our way back by team. And in Washington, J.D. McKissic is out. And that just means that it's going to be another massive workload for Antonio Gibson, and he's going to have a huge game. He's my running back 5 this week. In Tampa Bay, Antonio Brown has been suspended 3 games, so just going to move on to San Francisco, where Deebo Samuel is out. This is what we anticipated as well, so that's an upgrade to the other receivers. George Kittle is my tight end 3 this week. Ayuk is my wide receiver 16, and Elijah Mitchell is my running back 8. So you want to start all of them. The Seattle backfield is looking pretty dicey. Alex Collins is questionable, and he's been limited in practice all week. He'll probably play, but it's not guaranteed. Rashad Penny and Travis Homer are questionable, but they were practicing in full at least one day this week. So they're going to go with Peterson. Adrian Peterson was upgraded off the practice squad. So it's just a huge committee. I don't want to start anyone, but if there's one player who may interest me as we finish out the season, it would be Rashad Penny, but I'm really not getting my hopes up. And then in Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts is not expected to play. He was ruled out, but then it looks like now he's a game-time decision again. So it's unlikely, but it's still, there's a chance for it. I think you need a backup plan, though. I originally had him ranked as quarterback 3, and I don't think he's going to pay off with that high of an upside if he's this limited where he might miss the game entirely. So that ankle injury is really going to limit him in the run game if he plays, and that just bodes well for Miles Sanders. Boston Scott is also a game-time decision. It looks like he's going to play, but that's not guaranteed, and he hasn't practiced at all this week, so I think Miles Sanders really benefits from all of the first-team reps in practice, and as long as he stays healthy, he's going to have a good game against the terrible Jets run defense. I have him as my running back 16, and if you'd like some more info on him, you can check out my must-start video for this week up here. It'll also be available at the end of the video. But let's keep it moving. And in New York, for the Jets, Corey Davis is questionable. I think he plays, but he's definitely going to be on a limited snap count. And he is outside my top 40, so I'm not really interested in starting him unless you're desperate. For the Giants, though, Daniel Jones has been ruled out. I'm not interested in Mike Glennon. He is my last ranked quarterback this week, number 28. There's 4 teams on bye, so have no interest in Mike Glennon. And this is just a big upgrade for the Miami defense. I had him as a top 5 option, and that feels like a lock this week. Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard are doubtful. Don't think they're going to suit up. So Kenny Golladay is going to get blanketed in the secondary. Not interested. And Barkley is really going to struggle. There's going to be a really stacked box on every snap. So he's now running back 24 in flex territory. I'd rather bench him, but if you have to start him, you're that desperate. Don't blame you. I mean, you drafted him pretty high after all. Anyways, Dalvin Cook is out as we anticipated. Madison is my running back 4, so no big news there. But in Miami, Devontae Parker has been activated off of IR. And this really shakes things up for the Dolphins. Jalen Waddle is not as much of a lock as I thought he would be coming into the week. I still have him as a top 20 play, but I have brought him down a couple of spots. I have him right at 20, just above Mike Williams, and I think there is some more risk this week. Mike Gesicki also comes down, but very slightly. He's my tight end 13 this week. But Tua Tagovailoa, I think, benefits. He bumps up a couple spots. He's now my quarterback 17. If you'd like to check out those rankings, I'll have that up right here. But Darren Waller in Las Vegas is out. Oh, wait, no, back to Devontae Parker real quick, though. I think he's a very viable flex option. He's seen a minimum of 7 targets in every game that he's played this season, and when he starts, he finishes the game. So I think he's going to be just fine, see a big workload once again, and in PPR formats offers a very good floor. He is my wide receiver 27 this week. So back to Las Vegas real quick. Darren Waller's out like we anticipated, and Foster Moreau solidifies his status as a good streaming tight end this week. He comes in at number 13 in my rankings and is probably going to see at least 5 or 6 targets. And then Josh Jacobs on the same team is questionable. He was limited Thursday and Friday, so he's probably going to play. But if he doesn't, then Kenyon Drake moves up to my running back 22. This is a bad matchup, though. And if Jacobs does play, I only have him at 19, so he's a bit touchdown dependent. But he did get a big workload last week. We'll see if that continues. But then for the Rams, there's some big news in the backfield. Darrell Henderson is a game-time decision, and Sean McVay did not sound as optimistic about Darrell Henderson as he sounded about Odell Beckham Jr. So if you have OBJ and you're counting on him, I think you can probably still start him. He's a top 30 option, but I do prefer Van Jefferson. I have him ranked at number 23, and I think he will see a couple more targets than Beckham in this game. But back to Darrell Henderson real quick. If he can't play, then this is a huge upgrade to Sony Michel. He vaults into the top 10. He would be my running back 7, and he's definitely going to see at least 20 touches in this game. There's a chance that he gets a big workload even if Darrell Henderson does play, because the Rams are going to lead big time in the second half, and in the fourth quarter, if Henderson is not fully healthy, then they're probably going to limit his touches and give more to Sony Michel. So that's why I'm downgrading Henderson a little bit. He would move down to my running back 13 this week, just above Cordero Patterson. But if he does play, then he's still a top 15 option, so odds are you're still going to start him. In Kansas City, though, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is questionable. He missed practice on Friday, but it was with an illness. It wasn't COVID-related. Ideally, this is clarified earlier than that because it's a Sunday night game, so you can't really afford to wait. Ideally, you have a backup plan, but I think he's going to be just fine. I would still stick with Clyde if you're counting on him. James Robinson is questionable. He's expected to play, and I think he's becoming more and more healthy as the weeks go on. He's never going to be 100% the rest of the season, but I think they're managing his touches, and he is not limited by the pain. Brandon Cooks is also questionable. He's expected to play, but I don't really love this matchup. I think the Texans are really going to get shut down by the Colts' excellent defense. So don't really love Brandon Cooks this week, but the volume still carries him. There's a high floor every week. He's my wide receiver 26 this week. And then for the Texans as well, David Johnson is questionable, but I'm not counting on him at all. He's my running back 41. You can probably do a lot better than David Johnson. DeAndre Swift is out like we assumed. Jamal Williams is my running back 11. Melvin Gordon has been ruled out. That's official. So Javonte Williams is my running back 9. I feel like I'm very confident in him. And with Darrell Henderson moving down, he bumps up one spot. But I also thought about it more. I feel more confident in Javonte Williams than I do Najee Harris this week. I think the Ravens have a chance to really limit Najee, so that's why I bumped Javonte up above him as well. In Chicago, Allen Robinson is doubtful, so that just means more targets for Darnell Mooney. He moves up a couple spots. He is now my wide receiver 18 this week. And in Atlanta, we still have no update on Calvin Ridley. He is still going to remain out. It's been about a month now. And I really don't think he's going to come back before the season is over. I don't see why he would be incentivized to do that. And then lastly, in Arizona, the status for DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray is still questionable. They're both game time decisions. I think they're going to start, but we don't know for sure. And they're definitely going to be limited a little bit. I expect a slightly lower snap count for Hopkins than typical. And for Kyler Murray, he'll still play every snap. Unless they're up really big in the fourth quarter, then they would sit their starters. However, I just don't think he's going to run the ball as much. And I think they're going to lean on James Conner more, especially in the run game. But Kyler is still a top 10 option at quarterback for me if he does start, and Hopkins I have at wide receiver 13. So odds are you're going to start both of them if they play. Just monitor the status. So that's going to wrap up this video. If you enjoyed, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. And wish me luck tomorrow, and I wish you luck this week. Let's all get this W. My name is Adam Riancho, and thank you for watching Nice and Blunt.